Hello everyone, this is Pico Entertainment and we are back again, and here now we have another video for you, and we're going to talk about the confident, sexy, darker woman and how it's something that's very much extinct from mainstream movies today. Now when I say confident, sexy women, we obviously center a lot on physical appearance, but it's more than just the looks. True sexiness or sex appeal also comes from a woman's demeanour, how she carries herself. Very much an aura is built from her overall confidence. In terms of being dangerous or an overall darkness, it's very much how the woman uses her looks and confidence to influence, to manipulate, to get what she wants. Here she has an imposing presence both through her physicality and also her personality. Her femininity in many ways is very much of a superpower. Here of course we are very much describing the femme fatale archetype. To an extent, we normally associate the female as being some sort of an assassin, an adulterer, a seductress, perhaps even a secret spy. All of these roles, we'd see a woman use all of her beauty and attributes to achieve her goal, to get what she wants. Now some may say this would also include the deranged serial killer, the psychologically damaged, over-out, crazy bitch in many ways. But that's not really sexy as a woman who knows she's in control, she's put together mentally, she knows what she's doing, and that makes her even more sexy and alluring. So in terms of movies, when did we really see the sexy, dangerous woman really come to prominence? Now for me personally, we are really looking at the late 1980s all the way through to the 1990s, where we really saw the beginning of that truly sexy, dangerous woman character. Perhaps it was Kathleen Turner in 1981's Body Heat, twisting and manipulating William Hurt's lawyer into an affair, murder and eventually prison, using all of her beauty and duplicitous identity. Now many will point out Glenn Close, from the massive hit in 1987 Fatal Attraction, not taking no for an answer after having a weekend affair with married man Michael Douglas. Now I would say she was as much more obsessive and deranged rather than really threateningly sexy, but many people will put her in this archetype as well. It was really the 1990s where we saw the true femme fatale archetype, firstly with Sharon Stone, breaking through in the erotic thriller Basic Instinct, raising the curiosity and temperatures of many male audiences. Her stunning piercing looks and figure were all too obvious to deny, and of course we had the infamous leg crossing interrogation scene that hit all of the cultural and controversial notes. But the role as Catherine Trammell is much more than just physical. Throughout the film you're constantly wondering, is she truly the ice-picking serial killer? We watch her toy around constantly with Michael Douglas, detective, while also having a lesbian relationship as well. Is she genuine or is it all a performance? And that's the real key characteristic and very much appeal in terms of this dangerous curiosity, making you constantly drawn to her overall character. The concept of a sexy, dark, dangerous female was later taken to even greater heights with Michelle Pfeiffer's Catwoman in Batman Returns. Collaborating with Danny DeVito's Penguin to take on the Cape Crusader, Michelle Pfeiffer easily transcended the original source material. Her iteration is super sexualized and confident, very much embracing the dual alter ego split personality. With her clear nymphomaniac-like tendencies, her Catwoman could easily make you desire her and kill you at the same time. And yes, there are also psychological complexities. She's clearly dominant over her male characters, and this is very much the definition of a sexy, confident female character. We then look at Linda Fiorentino's Bridget Gregory from The Last Seduction, all sexually demure and calm and assured as she toys around with Bill Pullman and Peter Berg right throughout the film. Clearly self-centered, ruthless and manipulative, it's a woman you don't necessarily like, but she's still very sexy in a far more classic sense, classic noir-like presence. She's all too knowing of how easily men fall in love with her, and with Linda Fiorentino looking like this, it's certainly convincing enough to believe that as well. We then had Demi Moore in her absolute prime in Disclosure, very much a cultural reversal on the issue of sexual harassment within co-workers, by having the female as the aggressor, and in her role as Meredith, she is absolutely formidable. She's ambitious, wanting to assume the central role in terms of the business merger. And in this character, Demi Moore is very smart and cynical and has a tough resolve, which also adds to her overall sexiness. And she very much typifies the sexual predator in the movie's central scene when she tries to overpower Michael Douglas, and it needed a certain conviction of this character to make audiences truly believe that a woman can physically intimidate a man in this position, and Demi Moore pulls it through absolutely perfectly, and she's very hot and very sexy, not only in this scene but throughout the whole film as well. So when did this archetype start to die out within movies, and why? We still had plenty of prominent leading actresses playing certain sexualized roles, but these are far more action superheroines or raunchy comedies. We were seeing far less and less of that femme fatale character, to the point where we rarely see it at all nowadays. Well, one of the biggest reasons is that now, of course, in this current age where entertainment is so dictated by social media reaction, a dominant woman using all of her sexuality and looks to get what she wants is an idea that is just frowned upon today from so many different sides. So much so that the film studios are simply too scared to have a woman who's completely confident at ease with her sexuality. A character like this would be hated, first of all because of jealousy over her looks, jealousy over her attention. There would be those that feel it's too exploitative of women, that they are being too objectified. We currently could talk for hours about the endless online debates about the male gaze. When should it be condemned? Is it the women wearing certain outfits that encourage the male gaze, and is she not being self-aware enough in terms of her dressing that would clearly bring on the male attention? And of course, the whole Me Too explosion, which had a huge cultural impact in real life, also plays a key element here in terms of how women are written today. Nowadays, any women in a lead role showing any type of ascendancy or dominance is automatically deemed as woke or pushing some sort of feminist agenda. We would then have the arguments as to why is it only a super slim, toned size 8 or size 10 female in these lead roles. People would ask, isn't this misrepresentative of a woman, or is there a lack of representation within women? So because of all of these perceptions and viewpoints, studios are simply too scared to have that dominating sexy femme fatale character headlining a mainstream movie. And yes, it is also a fair argument that we are rarely seeing leading ladies in cinematic roles in general, and this goes to a further debate at how movies are further being pushed away now from cinematic releases onto the streaming platforms. But if we certainly look at two of the most iconic femme fatale roles, Michelle Pfeiffer's Catwoman and Sharon Stone in Basic Instinct, these roles today just wouldn't be accepted within the internet community and mainstream culture. They were controversial during their time of release, so if you imagine now in these ultra sensitive times and very much provocative and overreactionary tendencies, these type of roles would cause a huge amount of uproar and outrage, certainly within the internet communities. And when we talk about that, is this more of an issue of a culture in general? Are people nowadays too insensitive, too insecure to accept dominating sexy females in lead roles? It's probably a wider debate to be had, but when we look at the overall reasons, it definitely is seen that the fear of perception, the lack of risk from studios, and cultural insecurity, where we don't get to see nowadays that truly confident, sexy, dominating female character within mainstream movies. Those are my overall thoughts and feelings on the idea of the femme fatale or the dominating sexy female character, and how it's being extinct now from mainstream movies today. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Do you agree with me, or do you feel that we are seeing many dominating sexy women in these lead roles? Perhaps it's much more on streaming than it is theatrically. Do you think it's less of a risk in terms of perception online, and it's more about how there's a lack of creativity in terms of writing these characters? And of course, we do have to ask whether actresses are as willing to play these type of roles nowadays as what they perhaps feeling pressurized to play way back in the 80s and 90s. Let me know what you think in the comments below, and if you enjoy this type of topic and look to see me cover any other subject matter such as this, then drop me a suggestion within the comments. And if you have any other movies or television series or any other issues within the entertainment industry that you'd like to see me cover, then also let me know within the comments, and I will see if I can provide further commentary for you on those topics within the future. Please also hit and like the subscription and notification buttons so I can provide you with more high quality content like this in the future. But that's it for now. Take care of yourselves, and I will see you very, very soon.